my name's Aaron. Welcome back to my channel. How are you? I'm fantastic and I'm doing really well. And today I am reviewing Thomas Kosmala. It's French. Apres l'amour number 4, and this is £155 for 100 ml. The notes are amber, citrus, musk, spicy, woody. The middle notes are aromatic spices. The top notes are, God, it throws me off when it's the opposite way around. The top notes are bitter orange blossoms and lemon zest. Do we have a bottles of Apres l'amour number 4? Well, this is an Elixir de Parfum by Thomas Kosmala. I'm engaged with the higher self. Let's get testing. So I have tested this actually, and this is a metal cap, which shows you can do it. And so I have tested this. I'm going to give you my impressions. I've also tested it on other people. Now I'm going to spray the fragrance and just talk about it. It's going to be maybe a slightly different review. I'm a little bit unsure at this moment in time. I kind of don't know what I'm going to say, but let's apply the fragrance and go through the fragrance. So we're going to show you the Atomizer. Standard Atomizer. It's a lovely Atomizer, but it's kind of like standard. This has got a black particle inside. So when you fill perfume, you filter it. And there's lots of different ways to filter it. And filtering should remove particulates. We filter and then we sort of fill. When you get alcohol, depending on the size of the drum, we're now onto ton sizes. But before, we were in blue, metal, 200 litre we used to buy at a time. And sometimes the blue paint does go inside, but you should filter it. You know, that's the nature of perfumery. Also as well, with some naturals, you do get some sort of, we've had it before when you just get the nature of it is you get a, cedarwood or sandalwood or, vetiver or something. You do kind of get from the end processing, the tiny little particles, from the nature of the processing, depending on what it is. When you come to fill, you do filter. You do filter and then you fill. You should filter the alcohol and you should filter the perfume when combined. So you mix it together, alcohol and perfume, then you filter it and then it goes through. And that's all done automatically. So that's a little bit, I'm going to point that out in case you see it. There's a black or blue. And to me, it looks like the paint, totally inert, won't harm you, won't do anything. A lot of these things are just like residual. But I would have thought if this has been filled, the company would have done that and QC would have spotted that. Anyway. Now, the problem is with this. So this is obviously an Ambroxan and oak moss and ethyl maltol based fragrance, which is now a category of fragrance which was designed by Francis Kurkdjian, who is a fantastic perfumer. And this sort of like combination of aroma chemicals gives you this sort of like sweet, hedione based, lots of lift, lots of sillage filling a room. And that is because Ambroxan by its nature is the diffusive raw material at room temperature. Depending on where you source it from, is depending on what it looks like. The type I get and the type I like is flakes. Now, I asked my suppliers about the different types of Ambroxan, and I had a sample of all the major ones and also the ones which are captive. I got them as well. I mentioned before I had the DX one. I don't particularly like the DX. It's kind of great in some types of formulas. I love the flakes because they give you that real clear, pure Ambroxan, amber finish to it. It's just really clean. And the DX kind of gave me more ambergris type, and the other ones have different things. I asked the supplier, because they're all kind of about the same price and you get a good deal, what is the difference? And she said it's down to the perfumers, what they like. Their nose is really down to what they like doing. It's personal. I said, what about some more powerful? Even though it's the same chemical, aroma chemical, I said it's some more powerful. And she said no. So those out there who are thinking, I'll be really honest with you, you thinking that this captive raw material is more powerful, that the flakes, which are really expensive, they're the more expensive versions, are more powerful. That's not true. It's the processing and it's what it looks like. They all kind of look slightly different. They all kind of smell slightly the same, and they all do slightly different things within a formula. And for myself, I would pick an Ambroxan. The only one I didn't like was IFF. That looked like crystals. I didn't like that one at all. It smelled really impure. But the flakes I love, and the DX is kind of all right, but the flakes I really love. So it's a personal thing. It's nothing to do with captive raw materials. You can't make it more powerful. The molecular shape is the molecular shape and the purity is the purity. So that's what I want to get out. With the Ambroxan, some people go really nose blind to it and some people are super sensitive to it. And that is the receptors in the nose, into the brain, how we perceive it. Apparently, I was informed that some people think this perfume is just Baracat Rouge with Isu Super. I can tell you that's half the story, but it's not truthful. This is more woody, more leathery, but I'm going asnosmic to it. And this room is going to stink of it. And this is the thing I found with this, where people either really respond to it or not at all. And it's not the perfumer's fault, it's not the raw material's fault, it's the receptor sites in your nose and into your brain and how you perceive it. This does have Isu Super to it, and it also has wood-like raw materials in it and amber wood-like raw materials to give it that punch. This fragrance I'm going to put in the same category as that, I can never remember that Mega Mare. Now, Mega Mare contained really strong aroma chemicals, a lot much naturals, which is a skill in itself. It's not particularly where I love to work because I love naturals. I love all these really exciting CO2 molecules and these really exciting naturals. I wouldn't particularly go down that route, but that's not saying it's wrong. That's just saying it's my personal taste. Just, you know, how we are. Some people like tea with lemon, some people like tea with milk and sugar. That's just who we are as people. This is full of very powerful aroma chemicals and a little bit of naturals from the wood and from citruses. But this goes in that same category as that Mega Mare, I think it was called. That sounds like a mega bitch. A Mega Mare sounds like it should be an insult or something. But anyway, that's where I'm going to put this. And I'm going to say that I think that if you are really sensitive to Ambroxan, if you are really sensitive to sort of like these amber wood like raw materials, this is absolutely for you. I've tested this on other people who think it's very strong, and when we leave this room and I go back, I'll be able to smell it. So on me, I can't really smell anything, but I know on others you can. On to my final thoughts. So I'm going to summarize this fragrance as I think there's nothing wrong with taking a really loved DNA and doing a twist on it. I don't think there's anything wrong with taking a really loved DNA and improving upon it. I think that's the art of perfumery. Where I've got a problem is when it's a dead-on copy and kind of you're not putting a twist on it, you're not improving it. That's what I love. That's why I love this job. Is kind of, you know, I'm dealing with at this moment in time 2 new aroma chemicals that are very strong. One I'm very lucky to, it's a captive raw material. And that means that it's exclusive to either Givaudan or Firmenich or something. And I've managed to acquire some. So in my new work, I'll be using it. That's what I get up in the morning, is to sort of work and to be excited. And I think this DNA is, you know, well loved. And I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with a house having this sort of Baccarat Rouge DNA and improving upon it, making it different enough. And I've always said there should be enough points of difference for it to stand on its own. And I believe this does stand on its own. However, on me, I cannot smell it. This is when I'm going to struggle marking it. So I'm going to mark it an 8 out of 10. And the 2 marks coming off are simply because on me, it's kind of not, I would love it. Do you know, with these strong ones, the Mega Mare in this one, I would love it to be having that, oh my God, it's so strong, you know, it sort of filled up a lift. Didn't really do that with me. I didn't really get anything. But what I can smell, I really enjoy. And I like the way that the perfumer has taken the original perfume and done their inspiration from it, which I think is absolutely fine. And I haven't got a problem with. The price is really good. Love the metal cap. I love the packaging. I think it's nice and simplistic and looks nice and classy. All the rest of it. And I think 8's a really good mark. So I hope you love that review. Thumbs up and subscribe for fascinating, interesting content. Lots of moving hands and lots of fragrance views. Hope you stay safe and well. See you soon.